How's it going, guys? Welcome to the second season of my Vegas Golden Knights franchise mode series. As you can see here, NHL team is looking pretty good. 91 offense, 90 defense, 88 goaltending. AHL team not quite as good. 74 offense, 81 defense, and 78 goaltending. I'm going to show you guys a look at the lines heading into this season. I plan on making at least a couple trades, though, before we start the sim. I was kind of looking around all the different teams, and I think there's a couple players you could probably get for cheap. As you can see here, though, NHL team, Durant, Johnson, and Greg Ranko on the first line. Semin, Draisaitl, Killorn on the second. Perreault, Gergensen, and Poirier on the third. Lee, Sheehan, De La Rose on the fourth. Defense, here we have McNabb and Spurgeon as the top pair. Mueller and Hanifin on the second pair, and then Merrill and Orlov on the third pair. Probably going to trade Orlov to give Larson some time in the NHL. Of course, for our goalies, really good pair there in Korpisalo and Subban. Take a look at the AHL team now. First line here, we have Gaunt, Hintz, and Arvidsson. Second line, Carlson, Ulver, and Merkley. Third line there, Selleck, Vejdemo, and Zirkles. Fourth line, Kubitsky, Moon, and Walters. So the forwards aren't too great, obviously. We didn't really have any good prospects to start with, so most of our guys are either NHL players or probably still in junior, too young to make this team. But in a couple of years, I think the AHL forwards will be looking a lot better. Defense here, we got Larson on the top pair there. Like I was saying, I'm going to trade Orlov, call Larson up to the NHL, hopefully get some good growth out of him. Playing on the line there with Corrado. TVR and Mance on the second pair. Both have gone down in overall, so I'm thinking I might try and trade them as well. Tallulah there on the third pair. He could definitely get top 4 minutes. And I actually have Liljegren starting there. So even though he's a 68, medium elite potential, I made that big trade for him and Hanifin. I'm hoping he can grow a lot over this season. And then goalies here, we have Forsberg and Valainen, I think is how you say it. Both are solid AHL goalies, I think. Maybe one could turn into a backup. We end up trading Subban. Something like that. Either way, I think there's a lot to look forward to with this team. Also, guys, in the last video, I noticed somebody asking who the captain is now after we trade away Mark Methot, and we actually don't have a captain. We have 3 alternates. They are Draisaitl, Johnson, and Perreault. The assistant coach, whoever, actually made Mueller one of the alternates, but he was in the AHL most of last year. It didn't really make sense to me, so I gave the alternate back to Draisaitl. I'm not really sure who the captain should be. We really don't have like a clear face of the franchise or any like all-star player yet. Obviously, Johnson is our best player, but we just signed him, so maybe we'll run 3 alternates all year, and after this episode, you guys can tell me who I should make the captain for the 3rd season. But I think I like 3 A's for now. Kind of wait and see if, somebody steps up. After looking at how bad our AHL forward group was, I kind of felt like signing some better AHL forwards. So I noticed that Jordan Wheel is available in free agency. He's pretty solid, 25 years old, 79 overall, medium bomb 6. If anything, he could at least be like a really good AHL player for us. Help some other players on the AHL team grow as, they can feed off of him. So $800K for 1 year on a 2-way deal, I think is perfect. He might even turn into like an 80 or 81. Maybe call him up as a 4th line guy if somebody gets injured. Same goes for this Galeev guy here. Wouldn't mind signing him, especially for that cheap. We have like the contract space. I think we have like 7 or 8 contracts unfilled. Even Jeremy Morin here, he's a year older. Sign him though. Just kind of, give some depth to our AHL team. Hopefully boost the overall of the rest of the players. And when I was looking at the 2-way contracts again, I noticed this Nikolin guy, 20 years old, 65 overall, low bottom 6. The rest of the guys are all like 24 plus, pretty much gun growing. This guy's only 20 though, so he could turn out into like a low 80, which for 650K at 3 years, if he's, a 23-year-old 80 overall making 650K, that's an absolute steal for us. And worst case scenario, he doesn't turn out, 650K isn't going to break the bank. Also, guys, I want to give you a look at the owner goals for this year. So the primary goal there is to earn at least 85% of the expected $17.737 million in profit. I guess just winning games will do that. Secondary goal is win the regular season home opener. I'm hoping we can do that. The second one there is to win a total of 12 road wins. So I think we can do that. We had a lot more than 12 road wins last year. And the stretch goals there is to upgrade club seating, which you can probably go and do right now. Give us at least one of the 4. For this franchise mode, though, I made it so I can't get fired, but still, like, completing all the owner goals gives you a little bit bonus finances to help you with repairs, upgrades, things of that nature. Honestly, with all this extra stuff, the only thing I ever really do is repair things, as when stuff needs repaired, I'm pretty sure it affects the fan happiness. But other than that, I don't do anything. So we actually can't even afford to upgrade right now. Or no, it's because we're technically still in the off season. So once we're in the regular season, I'll upgrade that. And other side of that, just I think winning games should complete the other 3 goals. Now, as you guys can see here, that Nikolin guy accepted the offer, who's the 65 overall. We can hope turns out to be something good. We'll see if any of those other like AHL guys accepted. Galeev accepted. Same with Wheel and Morin. So AHL team just got a bit better. I guess I can give you guys a look at the AHL forward group now. Like I was saying, I think like that signing obviously will push a few guys into being scratched, but hopefully it's guys that are just career AHLers, don't really matter. So we'll go best lines here, see what it gives us. So yeah, Galeev Wheel and Arvidsson on the first line. Arvidsson now has some guys to play with. Gauntz is down to the second, so we'll put Gauntz on the first there with Wheel and Arvidsson. That's a lot nicer. More in there playing with Hintz and Gleave, so that should help out Hintz having a couple better wingers. Selleck, Oliver, and Carlson, then Moon, Merkley, and Walters. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Merkley's also now playing center opposed to wing, and actually he'll be playing third, I think, give him more ice time. I think that forward group looks a lot nicer. Right here, guys, we're trying to get a huge trade for Nikita Scherbak. Obviously, a very good young player. 21 years old, 76 overall, medium top 6. He usually gets really good in franchise mode. I'm adding this guy there just for the roster spot. 1 year left. He's terrible. At the end of this year, obviously, we'll just let him go. Trading Orlov, who, like I said, I want to get traded. 3.6 for the next 2 years. Larson's 1 overall below him, way better potential. And then Merrill here, who actually has a ton of value, as he's 25 years old, 84 overall, medium top 4D, and he's only making 1.1 million. So, like, the perfect budget defenseman. These two players would make Montreal's defensive core that much better. Much tougher team to play against, especially with Price and net. So we'll see what they say. Scherbak, they don't want to trade. Lots of value, though, on our side. They want both players. Here we go. We'll have to call up Larson and Corrado. So there we go. Trades accepted. That's a huge addition to our team. I'll just do assistant coach best rosters for now as it's still preseason. But I don't want Corrado playing in the NHL. I'd like him to stay in the AHL for a bit. So I'm going to see if we can make another trade for a young defenseman, hopefully. Send Corrado down. And even if we have to trade like a forward, I think we have a decent amount of depth, depending who it is. So we'll see what other trades we can make here. Bring back another defenseman. Alright, guys, so right here I'm trying to get a trade with Columbus for Zach Werenski. If I can pull this off, this would be a huge steal. Only reason this is even possible is because they have a bunch of defensemen with more value. You can see they have Savard there as the #1 value defenseman. That shouldn't be like that. They have him as medium elite potential. Johnson there, Jones, Murray, Cheney, Hetherington, then Werenski, 20 years old, 83 overall. Low elite, but I mean, the fact he's already 83 at 20, I think he can get at least to a high 80. I mean, we know how good he is in real life. In this game, he's not quite as good as it looks like, but still a very good young defenseman, especially at that price. So I'm trading them Riley Sheehan. Really don't want to do this, but he's another player that's like on a cheap contract at $2 million. 25, a couple more years to grow, 83 overall, medium top 6, 1 year left. So I mean, at least we're trading him, I guess, opposed to losing him for nothing potentially. And I'm adding a few prospects here they want. Weinhold unsigned, 70 potential. Peterson, 3 years left at AHL top 6, so probably like a career AHL guy. Don't mind actually getting rid of that contract. And then Learn It here, or whatever his name is, we actually just got in that Montreal trade. I don't want him, so if we can flip him here for Werenski, it's a perfect deal for us. Value is definitely on our side. Looks to be about double. They want all 4 pieces of the trade. Here we go. Trade accepted. Those are 2 huge moves. So we just added Zach Werenski and Nikita Scherbak without losing really too much. I might sign a free agent forward now to kind of replace Sheehan, so no one in the AHL has to get called up. They can keep playing more in the AHL. Other than that, though, should be set for this year. Like I was saying, guys, I want to sign an NHL forward here to replace Sheehan. Even though he's on a center, I'm going to sign David Booth. We have a lot of wingers on our team that actually can get converted to center, so that worked out well. He wants 1.5 here for 1 year. He's 32 years old, so he shouldn't regress during this season. I'll give him, honestly, like 1.65. He has no one else interested, but hopefully that's enough. We have the cap space. It shouldn't be a big issue. And as you guys can see here, David Booth accepted our offer, so I'm going to go play with the lines a bit and show you what our lines are actually going to look like heading into this year. So here's a look at the new NHL lines. The first, second, and third line are all the same, I believe. I think Sheehan has 4th line center. I'm not positive. You can see the 4th line now, though, is David Booth at the right wing. Lee's now the 4th line center, 70 faceoffs, so we should do fine there with Delarose as the 4th line left winger. Like I was saying, we actually had a lot of options to change wingers to centers. Clorin here has 75 faceoffs, Perreault has 80 faceoffs, but I figured like Lee was a better fit on the 4th line. And then defense here is a bit different. McNabb, Spurgeon still the top pair. Werenski and Hanifin as the second pair. That's a sick second pair, I think. Both 20 years old, both elite potential. Can't wait to see what they do. And then third pair there, we have Larson and Mueller. So this is a very solid defensive core. Obviously, the 2 older guys on the top pair kind of ease in the younger guys. It should work out really well for us. AHL team here, you can see we have Morin, Wheel, and Scherbak on the first line. I'm hoping that Scherbak playing with Wheel and Morin, they can just tear it up. Both Morin and Wheel are like AHL All-Stars. Second line there, we have Arvidsson, Hintz, and Gauntz. Might be like the best second line in the AHL. Third line, Carlson, Merkley, Gleave, and then 4th line, Walters, Oliver, and Selleck, I think his name is. So hopefully Merkley even playing with Gleave, give him a bit of a boost in production. Defense here, we now have Tulola playing on the top pair with Corrado, so hopefully that'll increase his potential. Manson and TVR on the second pair, and then we have Mikkola and Liljegren on the third pair again. Hoping Liljegren can gain some overall over the year, become at least like a 72, 73. That would be really awesome to see. So finally going to start the sim now. 2 huge trades, I think. I know I say huge all the time, but I mean, honestly, we brought in two awesome prospects, one forward, one defenseman. So we'll see how the year pans out, see how they grow, and see if we can get back in the playoffs for the second straight year. Also, guys, the AHL team ratings are much higher now. 79 offense, 78 defense, 78 goaltending. And there's a look at the NHL teams. I think they're pretty much the same. So at the end of October now, we have a record of 7-4-1, so pretty solid. AHL team there is crushing it, 6-0-1. I think those free agent signings definitely helped out. So we'll see what happens here as we continue on into November. Since we're in the season now, guys, I went to club seats to upgrade them, and I noticed that you can only upgrade club seats in the off season. So I'm not sure if I'll even be able to do this before I fail the owner goal. I'm not sure if this is messed up or if I messed up, but I just figured I'd touch on that. Seems kind of dumb. So now at the end of November, still a very good record here of 14-6-4. AHL teams also still killing it there, 14-2-1. So let's see if we can keep this going. I'm very impressed by both teams, and I mean both teams are still very young, so future's looking bright. So it's now the end of December. I feel like a broken record here, but we are still crushing it. 21-12-5. AHL team 22-5-1. Fan happiness there is 87. Locker room chemistry 71. Looks like we have a lot to maintain there with the arena, so probably have to go repair everything. I'm going to take a look here and see just where we are in the division. So first place, 47 points. That's awesome to see. At the All-Star break, we'll take a look and see if we had any All-Star players hopefully this year, as well as how all of our players are doing. So now at the All-Star game in January, team record here of 27-18-6. AHL team there 27-10-2. Really just surprised, I think, how good these teams are playing. As you can see there, first place in the Pacific with 60 points, which is awesome to see. AHL team also first place in their division with 56. So they must have less games played than Texas Stars. It's really the only way that would work out. Take a look here to see which of our players made the All-Star game. Hopefully we actually had a player make it this year. If not, that would kind of suck. So let's see. Gonna look out for one of our players' names. Lots of big names there. I don't see any of our players though. McDavid, Hedman, Keith, Bishop, McKinnon, Petrangelo. Fleury there for Hurricanes, so obviously he's still playing well. They like that trade, I'm guessing. Hopefully we got at least one player. Come on. Maybe if you're like a new team, he doesn't make a post about it. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I don't see a player there. So maybe because we are a new team, we don't get like a post about which of our player made the All-Star game, or we just don't have anyone like good enough. Corby Sal is the highest rated player on the team, I think, along with Tyler Johnson. So I thought one of them would make it, but I don't see a name there, so that kind of sucks. And like I was saying, guys, going to take a look at the standings here, as well as the stats for all of our players. Killorn there is our leading scorer. We know we're first place with 60 points. We'll see where we are in the entire NHL. We're not first place right now. We're actually 7th, so our division isn't doing as good this year, but we're only 5 points behind Pittsburgh, so still a lot of time there to try and get back-to-back President's trophies. That would be pretty crazy. I don't really expect that, though. I'd love to just make back-to-back playoffs. So Killorn there leading the team in points with 36 points, which is very good for him. He's bouncing between like the second and third line. Duran there has 34. Same with Greg Ranko. Johnson's got 31. I'd like to see a bit better from him. First line center. He's got decent wingers too with Duran, Greg Ranko playing with him. Drysdale at 28. It's not bad on the second line. Spurgeon 22. Pretty good for defenseman. Gergensen there is 21 on the third line. He's actually gone up to an 85. Perot's got 19. 7-18. Booth 17. So pretty good fourth line pickup. Poirier there, 16. De La Rose, 16. Lee's at 14. He's actually at 81 overall. I was wondering why he dropped so much. It's because I made him a fourth-line player, and he's considered a second-line player, even though I feel like he should definitely be considered a third-line player, and if you put a third-line guy on the fourth line, it doesn't affect him that much, but a second-line guy to the fourth-line guy, it does affect. It kind of sucks, though. We don't really have any third-line centers outside of Gergensen, who's an 85 overall right now. It really doesn't make sense to put him on the fourth line, so not sure what I'm going to do with that situation, but right there's a look at the rest of the team. Could have the younger defenseman chipping in more. Larson's got 2 points. Werenski's got 4. Mueller 5. Hanifin 9. But I'm sure they'll start scoring more eventually. I'm also going to take a look here at the goalies, see how the tandem of Korpisalo and Subban's doing for us. So Korpisalo is actually less than 2 goals against, 1.93. Subban at 2.51. 0.935 save percentage. Subban at 0.916. So both looking very good. AHL goalies here, we'll see how they're doing. Forsberg there, 1.76 against, very good. Same with the save percentage. Vavalainen, 2.28. This guy must have just came in when one thing got injured, I guess. I have no idea who he is. Take a look at the AHL scores here. I'm sure somebody's doing well. Arvidsson, 36 points. I'm hoping he can turn like into 82 or 83 by the end of the year, make that jump to the NHL. Wheeler's got 33. Galiev's got 25. Merkley, 20. Gaunt's 20. Merkley's actually like third and fourth line guy, so he's doing really well considering how much ice time he's getting. Carlson's got 19, Morin's got 18, Hint 17, Sherback 16 in 27 games. He's usually the first guy I call up, as I know he turns out pretty good, and he doesn't have to go through waivers. So a guy like Arvidsson or Wheel, I don't like calling up, as soon as the guy gets healthy again, they're basically just a scratch, and their ratings like ruined for the rest of the year. So I usually go for the guy that can go back down to the minors. The rest of the team here has got like 10 points and less. But like I was saying, both teams looking awesome. So we'll send them now to the trade deadline, see if we're still in a similar spot, and if we are, try and make some trades to boost our playoff run. So we're at the trade deadline here. We have a record of 32, 24, and 7, which should still be good for a playoff spot, I think. AHL team there, 32, 12, and 4. They're just crushing it. Fan happiness, 84, which is solid. Locker room chemistry, 69. I would like it to be a bit higher than that, like 75 plus. Take a look here and see where we are in the division standings. So we're second place, 71 points. LA has passed us, but still pretty good. Like I said, going to see if we can make some moves here, help the team out for that playoff push. Obviously not going to trade away any solid pieces of our future, but if we have like some AHL potential guys or some like minor league players that are probably never going to make the NHL team, we can package them for, an upgrade on the NHL team, then obviously it's worth it. So right here, I'm trying to trade Anders Lee to Carolina. I don't think I showed you guys yet, but his overall's dropped even more. Now it's 79. That's probably my fault, making him a center, making him fourth line, when really he should be playing like second line wing, but our second line wingers were better. Really, that was the only spot for him. So hopefully Carolina says yes to this deal. We get a better fourth line center back in John Mitchell. He's 81, so 2 higher, and that's actually the spot he's supposed to be. With a third round pick, they're probably thinking they'll put Lee higher up in the lineup, and he'll get back to an 84. So hopefully it's a good deal for both teams. The value's there. We'll see what they say. Trade accepted. So I think I like that deal. Right here, guys, I'm trying to trade Manson to the Washington Capitals for a 5th round pick. He didn't really work out for us. Played in the NHL for a bit, then just basically got passed. 26 years old, 77 overall. 1 year left. I'm not going to resign him. If we can get anything back, I think it's a good deal. Obviously, it'll hurt the AHL team a bit, but they should be able to do fine. They've been killing it this year. So we'll see if we can get a free 5th round pick here. Washington says yes, so that worked out well. Right here, guys, I'm trying to make a trade with Pittsburgh for their 1st round pick. I'm offering them Braden McNabb, currently a top pair defenseman for us, but he is 27 years old. 85 overall. I feel like a lot of our younger defensemen will start passing him. Right now he's on a crazy cheap contract of $1.7 million, similar to Merrill. 1 year left. He's going to want a lot more. Why not try and trade him right now, get a 1st round pick back? It will hurt us in the meantime. I think we'll still be able to make the playoffs, though. I'll probably call up Corrado and have him in the top 6. I'm also adding this AHL potential defenseman with him. A 4th. This is actually Pittsburgh's 4th in this year's draft. They'll be getting back. And then our 6th and our 7th. So we'll see what they say. Just McNabb, it looked like they had a 1st round pick, had a bit of an edge. So hopefully adding these 4 pieces will kind of like push it over the edge to make them accept. We'll see what they say here. We'll call up Corrado so they do accept. I think that's a huge trade. Like I said, definitely hurts us in the meantime, but for like the long-term success of the team, it's a good trade. So those were all the moves I decided to make at the trade deadline. Didn't really feel like doing any crazy trades to try and win the cup right now, so I don't think our team's good enough, but I think a lot of the moves we made will help us long term. Only change on forward here, of course, is Mitchell instead of Lee. Mitchell's 1 high right now. Once his morale goes back up after being traded, he'll go to 81. He's a better 4th line center, plus he's cheaper, so I really do like that move. Defense, of course, we trade away McNabb, so it's a bit worse here, but still not that bad. I think Hanifin playing top pair, he could really grow a lot. Mueller and Wrensky there on the 2nd pair, and then Corrado and Larson on the 3rd pair. I think that's still very solid. AHL team here, of course. I think the forwards are the exact same. Morin's injured right now, which kind of sucks. He was killing it for us. He's been injured for a while. And the defense took a bit of a hit, too, with getting Corrado called up and trading away Manson, but Tulula is playing awesome. TVR there on the top pair with him. Liljegren is now starting like all the time, opposed to being the bomb pair guy. Sometimes he gets stretched, so hopefully him and Mikkel on the 2nd pair there can do some good stuff. And then we got Niku and Berlin. So still have a lot of hope for both teams. I'm hoping they'll both make the playoffs. Whether or not they win or not isn't really a big deal right now. We're just basically looking for player growth, keep have the young players building and gaining overall. So now at the end of the season here, we have a record of 41, 31, and 10. So we have 92 points. Hopefully that's good enough for a playoff spot. HL team there is a record of 41, 19, and 5. So they're still absolutely killing it. Fan happiness there is 76. So we'll take a look here and see if we are in the playoffs or not. I think we should be, even if just a wild card spot. We're actually tied for the leading division there with San Jose. Both of us have 92 points. So the Pacific's not doing too great. I'm actually really interested now to see kind of how the standings are shaking up. Duran there has actually became our top leading scorer, so that's good to see. So yeah, we both have 92 points. They have a bit more regulation wins though, so they have the edge there, which means we'll probably be playing LA here in the 1st round. Take a look here and see what the entire league's looking like. Tampa Bay there first with 107, Chicago 2nd with 106. So kind of the teams you expect. Actually, yeah, all these teams pretty much outside of Toronto, I'd say, All right, and actually Carolina too. Marc-Andre Fleury must just carry every team he goes to. We're 13th though in the NHL, so not too bad. Obviously, like I said, we didn't really do anything to help our NHL team this year in terms of like the now, but our future is looking awesome. And right here, guys, we'll take a look at the player stats for this season. We already know Duran there with the leading scorer for our team. 61 points, 82 games, now in 86. Killorn had 50 points. That's very solid production for him. Same with Greg Ranko at 50 points. Draisaitl and Johnson. So 4 guys all had 50 points. And then Duran, of course, 61. I actually really like that. Seven there at 43, even though he's 82 overall now. Seven's a guy I actually wanted to trade at the deadline as he has 1 year left and he's 34. He's getting up there in age. Totally forgot, though. As long as he does good for us in the playoffs, it's not a big deal, though. We probably would have got like maybe a 3rd-round pick. I guess we can live with not having that. I don't think I'm going to re-sign him with his age and his rating continuing to go down. Spurgeon there, solid production for defenseman. Perreault, Gergensen there, Poirier, Mitchell, pretty good there for a 4th-line center. Even Booth, I like that signing we did. De La Rosa now in 82, turning into a pretty good 4th-line winger for us. Hannafin's got some points. These guys, though, like Renski, Mueller at 7 and 82, Renski 7 and 78. Larson's got 4 and 82. That's crazy. Like, I don't know why our young players can't score. Corrado's got 3 and 19. We just called him up. He's scoring more. He's a defensive defenseman. The rest of these guys are all two-way. I don't know why they're not scoring, but hopefully, as long as they continue to grow, I guess I really don't care too much if they're scoring or not. I guess they're playing good if their overall continues to go up. Goalies here, Korpisalo, 2.33 again, so that went up a bit, but obviously our defense got a little worse, so that makes sense. Werenski's also been hurt the last few weeks. Still an 87 overall. Subban there's an 84, so really like that goalie tandem. Gonna go back here to the skaters, take a look here and see who's leading the AHL team. Obviously all the best players, or some of the best players, keep getting called up, so this might not be too accurate, but Wheels got 53 points, same with Arvidsson, both of them on the first line. Gleaves got 45, Gaunt's 38, Merkley 34. He's actually really impressed me. Hintz has 29. He was getting called up a lot during the year. Carlson 26. Sherbak had 25 and 45. Not too bad. Another guy is getting called up a lot because he's on a two-way. Or not two-way, I should say. We just don't have to go through waivers. More in there at 18 and 34. He's just coming back from an injury, so hopefully he can help the AHL team there in the playoffs. The rest of the team there looks pretty good. So I'm going to get started with the playoffs now. Like I said, we should be playing LA in the first round. So we'll see if we can win the first round of the playoffs. If not, like I said, it's not a big deal. The first year we won the President's Trophy was pretty much a fluke. The fact that we're continuing to make the playoffs is awesome. But again, it's a long-term goal here of winning the Stanley Cup, not a short-term goal, as we just don't have the players to make that happen. So in the first round of the playoffs here, guys, we're actually going up against the Edmonton Oilers. I checked the standings. They actually passed LA, so they must have had one game left to play. They moved up to third place. LA dropped to fourth. So San Jose and LA, that's going to be a good series. And, of course, we're going up against McDavid here. We'll see if we can get the win. So nothing in the first period of the first game. Second period, though, Eberle and Maroon score. Draisaitl there gets a goal on his old team. And third period, Lucic gets 2. So tough first loss there, 4-1. I think we did have home ice, right? Because we were second place in division. Yeah, that was a home loss. So hopefully we can win this next game. Tie the series up 1-1. Everyone looks to have good morale right now, even though we lost a playoff game. So maybe they're just, I don't know, pumped to get back at it. AHL player there's injured. Just put best lines on. So next game here, like I said, we need to tie it up. Surprised McDavid, I didn't see a single goal from him there. First period, though, we get Eberle with 1. Plus, it's not showing the assist, so that's probably why. He's got some points from those. Russell and Killorn each score in the second, so it's 2-1. Lucic and Mueller, unfortunately, still lose that game 3-2. So down 2-0 here, the Oilers. Do not want to get swept. Gergensen is injured, so look, best lines. I think it just says his name wrong. Gergensen. I'll make sure I get that right for you guys. I don't know why his name's so hard for me to say, but going to the third game here. Like I said, I just don't want to get swept. Hopefully you can do something here. See what happens. First period, Johnson opens up the scoring there. Second period, nothing. Third period, Poirier and Greg Ranko each get 1. Maroon gets 1. So we get the 3-1 win. We're not getting swept, which is good. We can actually tie the series up if we win this next game. So you never know. Oh, that's not good. Spurgeon's injured, so our defense is going to be looking really rough. That's basically our top pair gone. McNabb got traded. Spurgeon's injured. That is not good. A bunch of guys getting injured and stuff. So fourth game here, we'll see what happens. The top pair is probably like Hannafin and Mueller now. So 2 really young guys. Lucic gets 1 in the first. McDavid gets a couple. Killorn gets 1. So we're down by 2. Third period left. Puljujarvi and McDavid. So McDavid got a hat trick there in game 4. I knew that was coming. Just a matter of time. And Mueller's now injured. Our team is just getting depleted. That is ridiculous. Okay, we'll take a look here. Liljegren? Okay, he's in the AHL, but still, Liljegren's out in the AHL. All of our defensemen are just going down. This is just unreal. So game 5, I don't think we have a chance. I think 2 of our top defensemen are gone, so it's pretty much over. Killorn and Mitchell though, getting it done in the first period. Nothing in the second. Schenn and Eberle tied up. Luke Schenn's still on that team, so I guess that Draisaitl trade wasn't terrible for them, as he is still playing. Going to overtime here. Semin there with the OT winner. What a goal. That's crazy. I thought we were done for sure. I figured too, I might as well show you guys what the Edmonton Oilers team is looking like. See if they made any big trades. So most of these guys were on their team before. Let's see here. Of course, we know we traded them, Schenn and Davidson, for Draisaitl. And Davidson's not even on the team, so he must either be injured or actually have gotten traded. So their team, really, they haven't done anything. They just kind of kept the players they have. But it seems to be working for them. Let's see here. Going to Game 6 now. Actually, before I do this, I want to see what our team's actually looking like with all these injuries. I feel like it's probably really rough. And I just noticed Mueller got back from injuries, so it's actually fine. Just Spurgeon's the only guy out right now, which obviously is a big hit, but not the end of the world. If we can get this done with all the injuries we've had, that'd be huge. So Nugent Hopkins there with a goal in the first period. Letes too. I think I spoke too soon. We're probably done for here. Yeah, Mueller scores 1 back from injury. Unfortunately, though, not enough. So we lose the first series of the Oilers in 6 games. But like I was saying, playoffs success isn't a huge deal for me right now. The fact we're even making the playoffs is a good sign. AHL team here. Wow, our AHL team, who had an unreal season. They had like 12 losses, gets swept in the first round of the Ice Hogs. I don't know how that happens. I actually want to go look now and see where the AHL team finished at the end of the year, because I'm pretty sure they were killing it. We did have to call up, I think, obviously we had to call up at least a guy or two due to injuries, but they still should have not gotten swept. 89 points, first in our division. We only had 68 games played. That's the reason for that. Let's take a look here. In the entire league, we're 4th place, but still, can't believe that team got swept. Either way, we'll sim on now to the draft and see what good picks we can get there to help the team build for the future. So here are the draft lottery results for this year. Anaheim actually won the lottery. Detroit gets the 2nd pick. Colorado there with the 3rd pick. Detroit also has an 8th pick from Nashville. Columbus there has a 7th and a 14th. So Detroit's starting to do bad again. That always happens. Surprise Anaheim. 1st pick there. Obviously, they finished pretty low. Maybe they just missed the playoffs and got super lucky. I doubt it, though. So we're going to take a look at the retired players here. So no one from our team, as our team is very young. Take a look at the entire league. 2 years in, there's usually some decent players still, pretty much every year. There's Daniel Sedin, Alex Tongue, free agent though. Still was an 81 actually. Kunitz there on the Red Wings for some reason. Chimera, Burrows, Cook, Cronwall on the Rangers. Dupuis, Umberger, Parento, Ehrhoff, Hamhuis. Actually, there's not really that many great guys here. Most of these guys are kind of just, they were guys that helped out, but no real stars it looks like. I guess we'll take a look here and see if any big time goalies retired this year. I'm thinking maybe like a Luongo or somebody. Nicholas Backstrom, Emery, yeah. So really no one retired. So before we get to the draft, guys, I want to show you the awards for this year. As you can see there, the Rangers actually won the Stanley Cup. So good for them. They haven't won in a while, I don't think. Take a look at the awards here. We know Rangers won the Cup, President's Trophy, Tampa Bay, Clarence S. Campbell, the Sharks, and the Prince of Wales there was the New York Rangers. Player awards here, Stamkos with the Art Ross and the Hart. Hedman with the James Norris, Sagan with the Lady Byng, Soshnikov with the Calder. That's pretty surprising, honestly. Lundqvist with the Conn Smythe, Jake Allen with the Vezina, Holtby there with the William M. Jennings, Schenn with the Bill Masterson. Maybe that trade wasn't so lopsided as everybody said. I mean, he's playing pretty good for the Oilers. Bergeron with the Selke back-to-back years, Stamkos with the Ted Lindsay, and the Maurice Richard. Stamkos seems to always clean up in the awards for the Sims for whatever reason. AHL team, San Diego Gulls won it, so I guess that's good for Anaheim. Their AHL team won the Calder Cup, even though they're not looking too good. Marley's there with a couple awards. We actually won regular season champion for the Western Conference, and we won our division, of course. See if we got any player awards. That'd be pretty nice. Ty Ratty there, Leipzig, Ratty, a couple more, Honka, Lala, I think his name was, Ty Ratty, Arneson, and Hutchinson. So unfortunately, no AHL awards. Still, though, I think the season was a success. Everyone looked to be playing pretty good. Hopefully we get a lot of growth over the summer. Can have a solid draft. I plan on probably keeping all of my picks and just hoping we can get the best player available with every pick. Obviously, we made some big trades last year. This year, just going to, stay pat, make the picks, hope for the best. So I just sent to my pick. This year's looking like a really rough draft. First overall pick here, Roberts, high top 6 forward. Smith there, high top 4D. Robertson, high top 60. Like, these top 5 picks are rough. This guy's high top 9, No elite players in the top 5. That's crazy. First one there, Valino went 6, so the Islanders finally making a good pick. Like, look at no elites here. There was one so far. There hasn't. That's crazy. So we're pick number 18. Sorry, not 19. I think I said 19. One elite player is gone. I feel like there's gotta be another elite player in this draft class. That is crazy. Hopefully we can find whoever it is. If I recognize a name, I'm definitely gonna take them. I'm looking here and I don't recognize a name. Maybe we'll go by potential here. So 7th D's there. The other way, I know now it goes like reverse for exact for whatever reason. So bomb 6 though is still the best. So we're probably gonna go by projected and just hope, like just really hope, we can steal someone here with elite potential. Honestly though, I don't know, like defenseman here that's unknown, or we take the guys that our scouts think are high AHL. We don't need a goalie. We have 2 really good young goalies. Wingers, I mean, we could maybe use a winger. It's a winger or defenseman though. Probably gonna go with the Canadian. So it's either Suter there, or Cap. That's the question. Suter or Cap. I think I want to go. We have really good defensemen though. We could use like a winger, 2-way forward. All right, we're gonna go with this guy. We're gonna go with Suter. Please be good. Wow, that's the worst That's the worst first round pick I've ever made. AHL top 6 forward. Oh man, oh, that sucks. I totally forgot we have 2 first round picks. Hopefully we can make up for that last one. I thought I messed up big time, but I mean, look at the picks after. Fringe starter, AHL top 2D, AHL top 6 forward. Maybe these guys will turn out to be way better than that, and like their potential's just messed up or something, but that just seems really strange. One elite player. I'm getting like an AHL guy in the first round. This guy has exact AHL top 6, and he's projected 1st/2nd. Like, that's so messed up. That defenseman I was looking at with unknown still here. Let's see what he would have been. Please not AHL. AHL top 2D. That has to be the worst 2 first-round picks I've ever made. Like, usually I can make, like, elite picks. I don't get it. So we're now in the second round. I looked at the rest of the first round. I mean, look at all the AHL players that are there. Like, AHL players usually don't start popping up like that consistently until at least the 5th or 6th round. Bunch of good players start going here, though, in the second. So maybe the like, first round was just a terrible class. I have no idea. This is, like, one of the worst drafts I've ever seen, though. We need to make up for those 2 first-round picks. Like I said, they could end up being better than AHL players, but the fact that that's their potential is not good. This guy's got medium AHL. Like, how are these guys all AHL? It makes no sense. So, like, this bomb 6 forward would, like, be the best guy for sure. Undrafted, though. I feel like I can wait a while to get him. No reason to take him now. Might as well, like, hope just our scouts are wrong and one of these guys is better. So, I'm going to go by projected still. I'm not taking that exact guy. Extra forward, like top 2D. I think I'm going to take this Russian guy and hope he's good. Hope, like, I don't know. The scouts got it wrong. Medium top 9. At this point, I'll take it. Making our 3rd round pick now. I was looking through the 3rd round again. It's the same thing. Like, half the guys are AHL. Then there's some bomb 6 forwards. The odd, like, top 9 or top 6D. So right here, sorted by projected. 5 guys left to go in the 3rd. Let's see. There's this unknown Russian here. I honestly might take him. The fact that he's unknown, I like that better than like high AHL. I'm just gonna go with him. Another Russian winger. The last one worked out. AHL. This is ridiculous. We're actually picking 2 picks later here. Pick number 20. You can see Dallas even took an AHL guy. I don't know. Maybe they changed the draft in the update and made it harder to get good players. But one elite player in a draft seems pretty ridiculous. And like AHL guys in the first, I think they might have overdone it. And like the first year, you can get really good players all the way into like the 5th and the 6th round. Regardless here, what are we gonna do? I mean, I don't know. There's like nothing here. I think I'm gonna go 3rd line grinder, power forward. I don't know. AHL 4th line forward is what this guy's projected. Like, that's terrible. We'll go with the Canadian here and Ether. Hope he's better. AHL top 6. Like, I don't get it. So our 4th round pick here. If this draft is all AHL players, I'd probably just trade my picks moving forward, which seems so dumb. But if this is all that's available, I feel like you might as well. Honestly, but maybe like this year's just really bad. Next year will be better, and that's kind of like the risk I really don't want to take. Nor do I want to get AHL players like the rest of this time. But I'm gonna go with this Finnish goalie here. I feel like he's a better pick than the AHL guys as he's unknown. Yeah, fringe starter. That's, I don't know. I don't get it. Round number 5 here. So far, our best picks were our 2nd round pick and our 4th round pick. The only 2 players that weren't AHL. I'm gonna see if that bomb 6 guy is still available. I feel like 5th round might be an appropriate time to get him. just before anyone else does. So yeah, he's undrafted, but I mean, maybe someone takes him here close to the 5th, 6th. Bomb 6 forward. That's better than AHL. We'll take it. We also have a second pick in the 5th round. I believe this is the Penguins pick. So hopefully, as long as it's not AHL. Honestly, I think I might just keep going unknown. This Canadian guy is unknown. We'll go with him. Everyone else is AHL. Medium AHL. It doesn't even matter. You can't escape it. We actually have a third pick in the 5th round. I completely forgot about that. That's the Washington pick. So one AHL, one non-AHL. Right there's another unknown guy. Do we risk it again? I say why not. High league interest, defense, and we don't have too many of those. AHL top 2D. Sick flow, though. And that was actually our last pick. I forgot we traded away our 6th and our 7th. So probably my worst draft ever. But, I mean, like I said, hopefully these players can overcome their potential, you know, do better than it. If not, whatever. I don't know what to say. So we're not at the re-sign phase here. We actually have $24 million in cap space. I believe all the players we took from the expansion draft, aside from like 3 or 4, have had their contracts come up either last year or this year. So that's kind of why I took a lot of the players we did, helped with this cap space. Going to give us a lot of options here in free agency. Our top 4 centers are all locked up. Mitchell, as our 4th line center, isn't a bad option. I might try and get somebody better than him. Wheels, 26 now. Going to let him go. I feel like, you know, Merkley as a top AHL center is fine, especially with Hintz 2nd. Vegetamo 3rd. Patrick, if he's in the AHL this year, I'm definitely going to try and boost him up in the lineup. Hopefully over the summer he can grow, so I don't have to really worry about that. These guys here aren't really worth signing. Velarde there, still a 66. Left wings here, all signed, but Booth was a pretty good 4th line winger for us, so I'm just going to let him go for now until I see what's in free agency. I can decide if I should sign him or not. Fogel here is a 73. I think he can be an AHL player. We'll offer him like 875. He should take that. Rest of those guys aren't worth re-signing. Right wingers here, Poirier needs a new deal. He's 83, 1.8 for 1 year. Let's see. I can get him for 3 years for probably like 1.75, and that's pretty good if he's an 83. That's actually very good. 7 here, like I said, 34 years old, 82 overall. Just going to let him go. Let's see. Galeev, 26 now again. I'm going to let him go. Let some other guys come through. Sherbak's now 79. I'm really hoping he can maybe make the NHL this year if he grows over the summer. He wants $2 million for 2 years, though. So he must be growing over the summer. He wouldn't be asking for this. Or 1 year for $800K. So that's really interesting. I think I have to go with the 1 year option because right now he's not an NHL player. And he'd just be like messing us up really the other way. So we'll go 1 year, $800K. And if he grows over the summer or whatever, we'll pay him. But I don't really want to give a 79 overall player $2 million. Defense here, Hanifin needs a new deal. He's obviously going to get a pretty good contract, probably a bridge deal, or 2.475 for 4 years. Medium elite potential, 21 years old. He could get really good. 5 years, 2.8, 6 years, 3, 7 years, 3.4, 8 years, 3.7. Let's go 7 years at $3 million. So we're paying him like $500K more than he wants right now. But we're signing him for 7 years. If he gets to Actually, if he stays at 84, that's honestly a good deal. And if he just gets better, that's gonna be amazing. Like if he can get to like an 88 or 89 near the end of that deal, we are laughing. Like that is a steal of a deal. TVR here, 26, 81. Gonna let him go. I just realized he actually got up in overall, but he wouldn't be in our top 6, and he just lose overall probably playing the AHL. And we have other AHL defensemen coming through. Liljegren's now at 76. Tallulah is 78. Mikkola even 76. Niku there. This Johansson guy, I'm going to sign. He's a 71. He'll probably play. So we'll give him 850K. That seems fine. The 65s there aren't signing. This guy looks... I don't know. The draft with AHL players. Be interested to see how those guys turn out. Forsberg here needs a new deal. I kind of want to make Vavelaine, or whatever his name is, the AHL starter. He's got slightly better potential, and he's younger. So I feel giving him the starter position might make him grow better. So I'm going to let Forsberg go here, and then probably sign Hallinan as the backup. Simple reason is, same potential, same overall, but he's 1 year younger, so he's probably the better of the two players. Make him the backup. Other than that, though, that's it for signing. So we're going to have a ton of money again to spend in free agency. Last year we got the top dog in Johnson. We'll see if we can do it again, depending on who it is, of course. And as you guys can see here, Hanifin accepted our offer, which is awesome. 7 years at $3.5 million. Poirier accepted too. He had like a $1.8 million deal, or 1.75 at 3 years. Again, like these deals are good for the overalls they're at, and they all have a lot of potential, so they're going to grow, which means we're going to have a lot of cap space with players playing way better than like what they're making. Sherbak accepted that $800K for a year. Fogel accepted. Johansson, Hallinan. So I think that's pretty much everybody. I'll advance like another day here. I'm pretty sure though. So if not, If no one signs, yeah, I'll go check the contracts. I think that was actually it for players to re-sign. So we just entered free agency, guys, and there's actually some really good players to sign here. John Carlson's available, 28 years old, 89 overall, so he's actually pretty young for a free agent. Very good defense, and would definitely help out our team. Kyle Turris there, 88 overall center. He would actually be really good too. Move Draisaitl down to the third line. Gergensen down to the fourth line. Jack Johnson's here, 31, a bit old. Mechanics definitely too old there at 35. Vander Kane, 26, 86 overall. I don't know about him. He usually has like bad morale. McNabb, as you guys can see, wants $5 million. So that trade worked out really well for us as Pittsburgh wasn't able to re-sign him. Atkinson here, 29, 85. Not too bad. Lindbergh's 26, 84. Perron there, maroon. So I think the guy we definitely want to sign the most is John Carlson. Like, that's a huge boost to the defense. After him, especially too, I forgot to mention, he's right-handed. Right now, our only right-handed defenseman that's any good is Spurgeon. Corrado also is, but like he's a kind of AHL guy. The rest of our NHL defensemen are all left-handed. So Carlson would be a big boost that way. Turris honestly might be worth taking a shot at too. After that, though, like I said, Atkinson maybe, and then that's really it. So I'm going to try and get the top two. Neither of them want that much money, really, especially when we have $20 million in cap space. We'll see what we can do here. John Carlson wants a 4-year deal, so he's paid till he's 32. If you add another year, it actually gets more expensive. So I don't mind paying him for 4 years and seeing where we're at then. And honestly, I could afford to give him like $7 million for 4 years, and we could be fine in the cap. And that's a lot more than he wants, but I want to make sure we get him, and I don't mind doing that, signing it at all. Kyle Turris here wants a 6-year deal at 28 years old. I really don't want to give him money till he's 34. I'd rather do a 4-year deal. Makes him want $7 million. I'm fine giving him like $7.5. We'll still have like $6 million in cap space to probably do nothing with. And again, these are not that long-term deals. I think we can afford to do both of those. So next thing, I take a look here at the two-way players, see which ones with good potential are available. This guy here, 20 years old, 70 overall, top 9. That's solid. That's better than like what we drafted, which is ridiculous. I'm going to try and make sure we get him on our team here. Tyler Benson, he's always available for some reason. The Oilers like never re-sign him, or probably never even sign him in the first place. Looking through here, the rest of the guys are pretty old. Probably not worth signing. Lobom 6, really no one too young. Sean Day is available. I wouldn't mind taking a shot at him. 20 years old, 73 overall, medium 7th D. He's like better than the AHL the defenseman we drafted. So I'm fine with that. 19-year-old there, Anderson, 67. I mean, he's young. The fact he's young means he has time to grow. Same with Berglund. I think we have the roster spots. I'm going to sign all 3 of these defensemen. Just going to give these 2 $750K. As they're really not worth more, so I'm not going to pay them more, as I don't think any other team would. And one other thing I want to do is actually just check and see what goalies are on the market. I'm not going to sign them. I'm just kind of curious to see like what's out there, I guess, and see kind of like compared to us who's going to get a good goalie. Looking at the ratings now, there's actually a couple good goalies there. Martin Jones, I don't know how San Jose can't sign him, and then Craig Anderson there. So a couple good goalies, but like I said, we have Corby Sal and Subban. We are set. So we'll see if Carlson and/or Turris accepts along with the two-way guys. And I think, honestly, besides that, we might make a couple trades in the offseason, but just going to let the players on our team grow over the summer, see kind of who progresses, who doesn't, and adjust the lines accordingly. And as you guys can see here, Anderson accepted. He was one of the 7th D guys. We'll keep simming here, see who else accepted. Kopaka accepted. He had pretty good potential, top 9. Sean Day accepted. Benson, he usually turns out to be like a low 80. Berglund, still no word from Carlson or Turris. Turris rejected. I want to be part of a locker room that has a few issues and good team chemistry. Sadly, that's something I can't say about the team right now. Wow, doesn't think our chemistry is good enough. We have too many team issues. So that has nothing to do with our performance. Usually it's like you're not a playoff team or whatever. I've never seen this rejection before. And John Carlson decided to go with Calgary. What is this about the locker room? I want to be part of a locker room that has few issues. It must be because we like trade away some guys, but we didn't even trade away like that many players. Outside of McNabb, all the players we traded away were AHL guys. And the rest of the team was like a core team. I can't believe he snuffed us there for Calgary. And we gave him like 1.2 more than he wanted. Turris is still on the block though, so we could still go after him. As well, I'm going to see, I think, about Atkinson with Carlson rejecting. We have the money. Could use that winger, and Atkinson's actually already signed, of course. Perron, though, could be a good fit to replace Semin. 30 years old. He wants 4 years. That's way too rich for me. 2 years at... I could give him the 4.6, I guess, for 2 years. Hopefully no one else makes him an offer. Just be a solid guy to play on either our second or third line. And then, of course, I want to give Kyle Turris another offer. 6 years. See, that's a lot. So he's 34. 5 years, he goes up. What if we just pay him till he's 35? It goes down to 6.5. I'd be willing to give him 6.5, honestly. I think maybe that's not too bad. Or let's try 6.75 for 7 years, especially with John Carlson not accepting. This is less money, but it's more term. We'll see what he says. And as you guys can see here, David Perron accepted our offer, so that's good. We found our 7 replacement. Still looking, of course, to see what Turris says. He rejects again, still a free agent. The chemistry thing is so dumb, especially because there's no way for me to fix it right now during the offseason. Like, you can't edit lines. Actually, before I make him another offer, I'm curious as to what our team chemistry is, if I can even look at it right now. I don't think I can. It's 73, actually. I just seen it in the bottom right. That's not even that bad. That's so ridiculous. Like, I've never had somebody say no because of that. Like, the team's going to be changing during the offseason. How can you... Oh, it's so dumb. I just noticed Scott Harrington's available. 25 years old, 82 overall. Solid younger defenseman. I wouldn't mind giving him an offer here. Wants 3 years till he's 28. I'd rather pay him till he's 27 and see kind of where he's at. 2.75. What we'd have to give up there. Second round pick, never mind. He's not worth a second round pick, especially with the good young defenseman we have. So, gonna go after Kyle Turris again. I don't want to get too crazy here. 7 years, 7 million. I think that's the max I'm doing. That's till he's 35. We can probably trade him if he starts to regress. We have a lot of cap space right now. We have 20 million, or we have 15 million still. Well, if he doesn't take 7x7, I'm gonna lose it probably. We'll keep Simmon here. Third time we're making him an offer. What is he gonna say? Rejects again. Oh, this is just getting ridiculous. I'm gonna make him one final offer, and if he says no, I'm gonna move on. I was thinking about it, guys, and I honestly think the game might be doing this just because I have so much cap space. They're trying to like make me pay more to like get rid of my cap space or something. That's the only thing I can think of. Nothing else really makes sense right now, but they're going to win here. We're going to give him 7.5. 7.5 for 7 years. I am not going to 8. He's not worth 8 million. If he says no to that, I guess we don't get Kyle Turris. Looking at the other players here, I wanted to see if there's anyone with a bit of potential we could sign. And I was kind of looking at Edom here as well, as I forgot we did drop Booth, so Edom could be a solid fourth line guy, a bit more potential. He's also a bit more expensive, but I don't mind. 2 years, he wants 1.9. Let's try 2 years at 2 million. I wouldn't mind that. Solid fourth line guy, energy guy. We'll see if either of these guys say yes. And as you guys can see, Edom accepted our offer, which is awesome. Still no word from Turris, though. Oh my gosh, what a joke. Okay, I think I'm just going to sim, and maybe, like, if he's not signed in, like, a month or so, he'll take less, but I'm not, like, it doesn't make any sense. So we're now in September, guys, and look who's still available in free agency, Kyle Turris. He now wants 7.8 million for 1 year, opposed to, like, 6.5 for 6. I'm going to try and sign him here. I'm not even lying when I say this. I want to sign him just to trade him as like a fuck you for basically continuing to reject our offers. I'm going to give him 1.2 more than he wants. He's probably going to say something about the chemistry. As you can see, we have 16 million in cap space. A ton of cap space. Even after that, we still have 7 million. Can pretty much do whatever we want. And like I said, I'm probably just going to, at the trade deadline, trade him for whatever I can. He's pissed me off so much. Kyle Turris rejected 9 million. I can't believe it. At this point, I just want to see like what it's going to take to sign him. It's definitely not a smart move, but it's kind of like I have to find out how much it's going to take to actually sign this guy. He now wants 7.5, so his asking price keeps dropping as it's been like 4 days or whatever. So let's give him 9.5. He's making an extra 2 million this year. $2 million is a lot. You could buy like 4 Lamborghinis or something with that. 9.5 million for 1 year. Like I said, if I didn't have this much cap space, I definitely would not be doing this. It's not practical at all for an 88 overall player to give him 9.5 million, but I basically just have to find out what it's going to take to sign him. It's pretty much all I've been focused on this offseason. Let's see. Is it going to finally get him? Wow. 9.5 million on a 1 year deal. Kyle Turris signs. And right here, guys, we're trying to trade Mitchell now to Anaheim for a 4th round pick. After signing Turris, we just have a lot of center depth. And really, there's no spot for him in the AHL. I'd rather my younger players play. So if they say no to the 4th, which they do, we're just going to put it down to a 5th. If they say no to the 5th, just keep basically moving it down until they say yes. We get a 5th round pick there, so that's solid. So here's a look at our lines going into next season, guys. I'm actually very happy with them. First line here, we have Duran, Turris, and Grigorenko. Second line there, Perron, Johnson, and Kaloran. Third line, De La Rose, Draisaitl, and Poirier. And then fourth line there, Perreault, Girgensson, and Edom. So pretty solid forward group. It's actually kind of flipped since we first made the expansion draft, and now our forwards are better than our D. Defense is still okay. Mueller and Spurgeon top pair Werenski and Hannafin on the second pair, and then Larson and Corrado on the third. Honestly, if I could just find a, say, 84 plus defenseman to trade for and then send Corrado down to the AHL, I think that would be good enough. It would be a pretty solid decor. But Corrado and Larson, I feel, is a bit of a weak pairing, so I'm going to probably try and do that next episode. Goalies here, though, Corby Sell's now on 89, absolutely crushing it. Subban even 84 backups, probably one of the best backups in the league. Looking now at the AHL team, AHL team's actually stacked now. The forwards went from being terrible to amazing in one season. So we got Benson, who we signed, is an 82. I think we signed him as like a 77. He shot up. He's actually got a role here of a third-line scoring forward, but unfortunately for him, like, there's just no spot on the team. I was thinking maybe you could trade like Perreault or somebody who's kind of older, especially with signing Turris. We don't have to worry about like getting over the minimum cap. That was actually something we had to worry about last season. Merkley, their first line center, is now an 80. Sherbak's an 81. Arvidsson's still an 81. He hasn't really grown at all since I got him. I was hoping he would have, but never happened. Nolan Patrick there, second line center, 77. Probably going to play him 1 year in the AHL and just see what happens. Hopefully he can have a nice jump. He's already grown better than the last time I used him, so I think that's good. More in there is on his wing. So he's got two good wingers. Playing second line in the AHL, he should be able to tear it up. Gauntz, Vegetable, Fogel, that's actually a really solid third line. And then Kopaka, Hintz, and Selleck. So for whatever reason, I always end up having a ton of center depth in the AHL. Maybe there's like better centers or something available, but like you can see, there's a ton of center depth there. Defense here is also pretty solid in the AHL. We got Tulula and Liljegren. Liljegren's also been progressing a lot. He's going to turn into a beast, I think. Sean Day and Mikola on the second pairing, and then Niku and Johansson there on the third. And then goalies here, we have Vevalainen or whatever, now at 78, so he's grown. Really looking for some big things from him here with our AHL starter. And then Hallinan, or whatever his name is the backup. So both teams look good. Really the only thing we definitely need to do, I think, before the season starts in the next episode is trade for a defenseman. Even if it's like a veteran guy, I actually wouldn't mind, getting one of the guys we had on our team before back. As long as it doesn't cost us too much. I think it would kind of stabilize our team. And honestly, I think now we can kind of start making that push for the cup. Obviously, Corby Salo is a good goalie. Our forward group has a lot of depth. No real superstars outside of, I guess, Turris. We'll see how he plays. But I think like if we can shore up that defense, we have enough depth on forward and a good enough goalie, we can make a run at this thing. For ratings here, 91 offense, 90 defense, and 91 goaltending. AHL team, 83 offense, 77 defense, 79 goaltending. So the AHL team is also kind of flipped now, where the offense is better than the defense. And so it should be interesting to see what happens. I'm really excited. Let me know what you guys think of the teams. Let me know if you have any ideas for defense and we can trade for. Also, let me know, too, maybe we should trade a forward or leave Benson in the AHL. Not too sure on that yet, so would love to hear your guys' suggestions. Anyways, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. Thank you so much for the support on this series. It means a lot to me. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Goodbye.